All right, since our brains out, don't let twice just blink. It's time for part two, y'all. In the previous video, you go check it out. I told you about my pre-forex journey. Quick recap. Um, Dropped out of school, got into forex by some dude I met at a job. Knew him for like less than 24 hours, but he really opened up a door for me. My dad trades. He learned from my auntie, and my auntie don't trade anymore. My dad's still trading on his own. Um, Moved from Orlando where I was staying in a motel. Uh, Moved down to Miami for a woman, for a girl. Don't do it. I'm not gonna say don't do it ever, but just don't do it. Um, didn't have a plan either. So another thing, don't do things without a plan either. So I moved down to Miami. Met a young lady, of course. Stayed with some family. Ended up getting shot in a drive-by. Believe it or not, innocent bystanders do exist, and they can be black. It is what it is, but it's my country too. So fast forward past that, um, it's still crazy because you have flashbacks, whatever PTSD, whatever you want to call it, paranoia. You still have little flashbacks and shit like that. But it's like, hold on. It's that, it's that gator water. It's that swamp water. You don't know nothing about that. You might not know nothing about that. So have a fallout with the girl I moved down there with. I'm in the hospital. God sending me all these angels talking to me about staying out the streets. I wasn't in the streets. I was working. Talking to me about life and talking to me about dropping females, dropping relationships, focus on your path. They putting books into my life. Um, and it was just a very humbling experience. So I'm in the hospital from like October all the way to like December. It's COVID time. Um, we're in the pandemic, full effect. I get out the hospital. I have a fallout with the girl I'm talking to. Cause she had a son. What am I gonna do? I was emptying my bank accounts trying to make sure my peoples had some money because they coming in the hospital to take care of me. You know, I'm around strangers every day, all day. I'm on drugs. I'm on Percocets, OxyContin, gabapentin, all types of stuff. I'm on everything you could think of. Every rap song Future talked about, I learned about every drug right then and there. I'm on morphine. That's why I guess my bill was so high. Anesthesia. Anesthesiologists, they make stupid bread. And I could see why. Because they were drugging me up in surgery and out of surgery. I had like 6 surgeries. I lost supination and pronation. I can't do that with this on. And this is like, I had to get, they had to use cadaver bones. So I used somebody else's bones. Shout out to them. And it helped me, I guess regenerate the bone through collagen and that whole process, and it's stable enough. It's stable enough. It's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be like it once was. I can't rotate. I can't put my arm. I can't do push-ups like that. I can't bend it all the way. This one and then down. Yeah, that shit feel like it's gonna snap. So enough with that boohoo. I get out the hospital. Um, I ended up meeting this girl I had a crush on. You feel me? Since like elementary, bro. You feel me? Like damn near in love with this girl. So she pop up out of nowhere. Everybody's attracted to danger and mystery and tragedy, and I guess some people just popped up back in my life. She came, and I ended up talking to her. I'm like, thank you, Lord. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but appreciate you. So I meet her. We talking. She not trying to give me no play. You feel me? She trying to play the game with me. She going through her own stuff. Life is short. I want her. I wanted her. It is what it is. I go chill with her one night. We go out for pizza, and I'm thinking about like, bro, we in COVID. I literally can't make no bread on my own. That's ridiculous. I'm not about to be working for Amazon. I'm not about to be working call support. You know, I'm not about to be doing none of that. And I'm not about to be selling drugs and selling pills. I flushed all my pills. I threw them all away. Because everybody, when you get out the hospital, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. Everybody want to know how much the pills is. Where the pills at? Where the drugs at? That's Miami for you. So I go. We go out to pizza. We chilling. We sit in the car, and I'm like, bruh, I'm having this flashback of 2018. I'm like, this seemed like a good time to do Forex. What? Who you know doing Forex? Please to God, tell me you know somebody doing Forex. Bruh, I know you gotta know somebody. It's just random as hell. We wasn't even talking about money or anything. She's like, the only person I know is Craig. Craig is the same dude we known since elementary too. God don't make no mistakes. I'm trying to tell you. I said, call him right now. Take me to him right now. That's how I'm saying it. Right now. My arm is in a splint. It's in an external fixator. So there's a rod. It's like a different type of cast. So there's screws drilled into my hand here and screws drilled into my forearm there. So right here and right here. And then there's a bar going through, 2 bars going through. And it's called an external fixator. So it kept my arm in a position while I got the screws in there and just to help the bone process so it doesn't have too many, abnormalities or any curvatures or anything like that. So I got 2 rods in here, 2 screws, and then a rod holding them together. And I'm like that. So this is how my arm was through the whole healing process. No, I didn't have a nurse and all that shit. I didn't do no rehab. Didn't have money for that. They had to give me charity to pay for my bill. My bill was over $500K at the hospital. And I think I still owe bread, you feel me, to the doctor that helped me out. Shout out to all the doctors that helped me. I had like 3-4 surgeries. I had skin graft surgery. They had to take skin from my thigh and put it on here. That's thigh skin. I had the tendon repair surgery. I had to get the rods put in. I had to have stitches over here. It was intense. I think I should be a doctor after that because I done learned so much. I was like, yo. So I say, call Craig right now. We in the car. This man pick up the phone. I said, yo, what's good? He like, nah, I'm chilling. He got a son at the time. His son was like 2. I'm like, yo, what you doing? He like, man, we just killing. You can come through. Say less. That same night, she look out for me. I love her to death, dog. I love you. If you watching this, she took me to his house. I love you too, bro. I love you. She took me to his house. We go in there, we sitting. I'm like, bro, what the fuck you know about Forex, man? I want to make some money like that. I don't know how to trade. Everybody around me scared. He telling me he done try to teach some people. He never charged anybody. And he took Q Bank's course. Wall Street Academy. I'm like, nah. He like, yeah, bro, it ain't nothing to me. I ain't gonna charge you, you feel me? You kind of fucked up. I'll help you. And he really did, like, help me with the course. He helped me. He actually was like, I don't know how to say it. He was just major support because from that day, I was glued to him. You feel me? Like, I call him. This man pick up. I say, I wasn't even driving at the time like that, My old boy let me hold his car, my father. That's old boy in terms and slang. My father, he let me use his car. Craig, my homie, he stayed like down the street from me, like 10 minutes. You feel me? And he stayed next to her, the girl I, kind of fell for. So everything was just full circle. She stayed right there. He stayed right there. And I wasn't dead. I was just blessed. I'm out of the hospital. I couldn't sit in the house. I'm not a homebody like that. So I'm like, yeah. I got this external fixator. Them shits ain't come out till like 3 months later in March. So I had it in my arm for a good couple months, 2-3 months. So I'm just going to his house. We smoking in the back of the house. You know, I shouldn't probably been smoking at the time. But you give me drugs, synthetic drugs. So I said, rather than, you know, pop the pills all day and be in zombie land, I said, I'm gonna just smoke and be in Drew land, you know, where I'm used to being. Or so I thought that was comfortable for me. I'm going to his house damn every day, damn near. I'm spending hours with this man. We in the back of his house, you know, we weren't really in his house. We was in the back of this wooden table, this monumental wooden table in the back of his house, one laptop. I didn't have no money at the time. Broke, no joke. This man taught me for the free. For the free. Everything I know for the free. Briscoe. Grateful as, you feel me? This man, I love these two people to death. I'm trying to tell you. Like, this man picked up the phone when I had questions. We do Zoom calls. He helped me, you know, set up my Traders Way, because Traders Way don't even let people in America set up accounts anymore, you know? That's a 1 to 1,000 leverage, you know? I'm forever grateful. I'm good with Traders Way for life. I got a 1 to 1,000. A lot of people don't even have access to those type of accounts anymore. They used to have 1 to 3,000, 1 to whatever, and those people, you know, they might have access to it, but I was just grateful, you know? He set me up with Traders Way. Showed me how his trades. He had printouts on printouts. I got them pinned on the wall. You feel me? That's his 3 right there. Those 3 right there. He had printouts and everything. You feel me? Like, the man look out crazy. Crazy. And that's just been a little bit of my progress. I've been working on it. I passed some challenges, you know. Failed those though, if you check my videos. Didn't get no withdrawal, no payout. But back to the story. He just made himself available, you know? He just made himself available. And she was there for me. She was supportive, you know? She never been through anything like that, you know? I just, you know, it's nothing, it's words really can't describe that time. It was a really emotional time, being broke, being wounded, the breakup with this girl, meeting this girl, this woman, you know, like, and then to this day, I'm just like, it's just God, you know. I don't try to explain it, try to define it, try to say, ooh. I didn't have no plan. I said, I just want to learn FOREX. She took me to his house. This man we was glued together for like a year and a half, pretty much, a solid year. In and out of his house. He coming to my house. We going to the park. Everywhere was FOREX. We looking at GU. We looking at GJ. We looking at AU. We looking at gold. It was just phenomenal, man. It was a miraculous change for me because, you know, in my life I didn't make too many investments that I stuck with, you know. I quit a lot of things, I'm not gonna lie. I ran away from a lot of things, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I chose football, I stuck to football, but I didn't give it my A game. You know, I gave it like B sometimes, C plus, you know, sometimes I gave it D. Because I just felt I was so good. I just wasn't trying to get better. I just knew I was already better than some of these dudes. And they were, you know, I just got in my feelings about things, you know, because it got real political, you know. And I didn't know about the politics. I didn't know how to use it and finesse it to my advantage. So we in the back of this man's house. We at the park. We at my house. We know we in my parking lot. I mean, in my yard. We in his yard. And then we had some other buddy down the street that we used to go to his house. Kevin. Used to go to Kevin's house, you know. And Kevin, Jamaican dude, he had got hurt. His body was a little messed up at the time. He had got into a motorcycle accident with his brother. So his arm was stuck like this. He had hip surgery. He had brain surgery. So at that time, you know, God just put like the dream team around me. You know. God just, and I was still dealing with stuff, you know, I was still hot, still got anger problems, you know, I was still getting emotional, and I was just like paranoid. I still tripping, because I'm still staying in Miami at the time. You still hearing gunshots, you know. And when you talk to people, you tell them like, yeah, I got shot. They're like, oh yeah, all right, yeah. So yeah, I'm about to go down to, that's like, they just walk over it, you feel me? I go online, I was probably like the 4th, 5th drive by that week. You feel me? So nobody give a damn. You black, you got shot. Nobody give a. You feel me? So I was like, damn, that's what a veteran feel like, huh? You come back from war or something like that, and everybody just like, oh yeah, thanks for your service, but you know, I'm like, and then there's the whole police trying to talk to you, no snitch thing. So I'm not in the streets. I'm not from the streets. You feel me? I done stayed in a couple of hoods, but I'm not from that. You feel me? So everybody's trying to say, oh, who did this? Or who did that? Or who got shot? Who's it? You know, the streets start talking. I'm like, yo, I don't want nothing to do with that shit. You feel me? I don't want nothing to do with that. Nobody coming to attack me. Nobody coming to finish me off. Ain't no witness this. I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm on FOREX and trying to get this girl that I was in love with. You feel me? That's it. So it was just a lot to be in while trying to learn Forex and still dealing with COVID and people getting sick and testing positive, and it was just a lot to deal with at the time. It was a lot to do, and I remember they telling me my little sister was crying when she found out I got hit. You know, I can always think about that. I always thought about that. You feel me? And I was hot with the nurses at the hospital, cause they gonna wake me up out of surgery. I'm like, you know, just waking up, morphine wearing off, and they's like, oh, here, he's waking up. This your mama, cause my mama wasn't even staying around me at the time. They passed the phone. My mama started crying crazy. I just got out of trauma from a traumatic surgery, and they wake me up and put me back in the trauma. You feel me? She crying. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at the nurse like, like, bruh, you feel me? Like, I'm about to go into shock. I don't know how this shit work. So it was just a lot at the time, man. But overall, I'm just thankful and grateful for Forex, you know, for the opportunity to you know, acknowledge, you know, this opportunity to do what I want to do. It's always something I always want to do was be remote and teach something and learn something that I can take with me forever. And I finally found one of those things, you know. There's more out there. I'm definitely going to expand in business, but between the this girl, I love you. Between her, you feel me? Between my dog, I love you too, bro. Between my pops, I love you. Between my dad, I love you. My little sister, I love you. You know, between my stepmom praying for me and supporting me, and my cousin, my aunties, you know, they fast for me during my surgery. You feel me? Very spiritually inclined. You know, they're very humble, spiritual people. You know, they all looked out for me. So I'm definitely thankful for everybody. But those immediate people, Kevin, who was in his own surgery, he had crazy surgeries. He survived. He had a big testimony. He looked out for me. He was there for me, you know, in ways that he probably maybe didn't understand at the time. The girl, you know, Jasmine, she know, that's your name. You know your name. Jasmine, she looked out for me crazy, you know. That shit was just crazy. Craig, you know what's up. That shit was just crazy, man. But that's how I got in the forest, y'all. I got shot, got hospitalized, got out, and that's the only thing that was on my mind. I don't know where it came from. I wasn't watching any videos, anything. I just went out with this girl one day, went to get some pizza, sat in the car, and I said, I guess it was like I wanted to do something to impress her, I guess. I don't know. I wanted to do something. I was like, how am I gonna keep this woman and not make no money? You know, like I think she paid for the pizza too. So I'm like, bro, I don't feel right, dog. It's not feeling good. Like, I can't defend her. You feel me? Like, I didn't have no peace on me, which is why I didn't do nothing that night. You know, I wasn't carrying no peace on me. I ain't had no gun on me. So I'm like, damn, you know, I can't be around this black woman, this black queen. You feel me? Shout out all my black queens, because they all looked out for me time and time again, before, during, and after the surgery. You need you a black woman, get you a black woman. But respect her. You feel me? Don't be disrespectful and don't use her. I was just like, yo, I can't protect this girl. Look at my arm, you feel me? I ain't got no bread. Like, bruh, she not gonna respect me. She not gonna see me as no man. I need to do something, like, subconsciously. You feel me? Because I'm like, damn, I'm trying to keep her. You feel me? It's cheaper to keep her. I don't know. I just thought about Forex. I said, I need to run up some bread, man. Or I need to get into something at least. I need to be learning something right now. You know, Harvard's giving out free classes. Stanford's giving out free classes online. But I'm like, that's far-fetched because if I'm not going to get a degree, a lot of this stuff I can't even utilize in my head at the time. You know? Um, so I said Forex. I heard about Forex in 2018 last year. Does anybody around here do Forex? She said, oh, Craig. People I known for years, over decades, you feel me? It was just a truly blessed journey. I'm still going hard, you know. So if you count 2018 to now, you can. If you want to count 2019 to now, you know, I wasn't really in it, but I was like in the bubble now, you know. He's telling me about things. He put me on some books, some websites. He got me reading, you know. Craig got me reading too a lot more. There's this nurse, Franklin, at the hospital. He got me reading. He sent me a whole bunch of PDF books. Justin sent me a whole bunch of trader books. Like from there, we was just up. I was just up, you know, and I still feel it too. Like I just keep growing in knowledge and just growing and getting better, and just learning more about myself. So here I am. It's my Forex journey. You check the videos out. Got a lot of knowledge, got a lot of insight, you know, a lot of psychology. I'm big on that. That's what I went to school for. Didn't graduate out of school, you know, got an AA and that's about it. And I'm going to do so much more with it, you know, because I'm like a researcher, you know. I pay attention to a lot of stuff. I'm very observative. So I'm going to use it to the best of my abilities, to my highest potential. Shout out to the Most High God for letting me make it here, you know, for keeping me guided, you know, having guardian angels around me. Because funny thing is, before I wrap this up, I go back to the report. I'm going to talk to everybody in the town and the city about when I was gone because they hadn't seen me for months after I got hit. I got hit in like October. They ain't seen me until December, and then I went back in March. Turns out, because when I got hit, there was like propane tanks and gas tanks there too. None of them blew up. None of them got hit. Then the cars there that I thought protected me, they telling me there was no bullet holes in the car. The girl I know, she was friends, you know, she was there working as the like assistant in the kitchen from the woman that was making the Haitian woman that was making my food for me. She whipped too, but I like the Haitian woman more, you know. She tell me, you know, my car ain't get hit. I'm like, nah. I'm like, bro, I use your car for protection. You know, I use your car. I heard the bullets ricocheting. Like, I heard it. She said, nah, my car ain't get hit. I said, yo, I know there was at least 20 bullets shot out each gun. You feel me? Like, each gun. Missed my whole body, hit my non-dominant arm. I'm right-handed. Hit my non-dominant arm, and ain't not one bullet hole in your car. I'm trying to tell you, I'm on my way. Like they always say, like, shout out Iceberg, shout out everybody, you know, shout out Ross, shout out Piccolo, Briscoe. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. So that was just a little introduction into me and what's been going on, you know. That's it right there. So, still going hard, still learning, you know. Shout out Q Banks, like I said. Shout out Ryan, you know, my life real quick. And I've been learning from a lot of people along the way. Where I'm at right now, I don't want to talk too long. 24, God. So, yeah, shout out Uncle Ted, you know. Shout out Roger Banks. Shout out Raw Markets, you know. Patrick King, you feel me? I just learned from a lot of people. I just kept looking for more information, more psychology, more experience, you know. When I met Craig, I think Craig was like 4 years in, 5 years in. So, you know, between him and my father, I didn't really see them make the success that I seen for myself. So I just always kept looking for more. And Q Banks, I seen his success, but I wasn't really close to him, you know. I wanted more personal mentorship. So I just kept looking for people. And I'm still, you know, kind of on my own now. I don't have a group or anything, you know. So I've just been working on my system, working on getting better and just being profitable and being consistent, disciplining myself overall. Shout out Mark Douglas too. You feel me? Mark Douglas. Shout out that man too. So yeah, everything has been part of the journey. Everything has been for the greater good. I'm glad I'm here. I'm blessed I'm here. Shout out to each and every one of them people, you know, and everybody along the way who helped me and probably didn't know it or I didn't know it and notice it, you know. I don't want people to think that it was for nothing, because everybody contributed. Everybody contributes to everything. You know, the garbage man, the mailman, the pilots. Everybody's contributing to everybody's coexistence. So shout out to everybody who did some, who didn't do nothing, which might have helped too. Um, Shout out to the lady in the ambulance too, who looked at me like I was dead. I don't know what I did to her. But this lady in the ambulance, I will never forget her face. She got that resting face. She gave me the meanest mug for 45 minutes on the way to the hospital. The meanest mug I've ever seen. If I could show you my... Shout out to her too, because that made me never want to get in the streets. I never want a woman or an older woman or a grandma or anybody to look at me like that ever again in my life. I want to be better. I'm going to do better. You know, I aim to be a better example. I never want somebody to look at me like that ever again, like I'm some criminal, like I'm some thug, like I'm some killer. I don't care what tattoos I got. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. I don't care what you think I done. I never want somebody to look at me like that again. That's my own people. You feel me? She's an older woman, looked like a Caribbean island woman, and she just the sourest face I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if she was just looking at the injury. I don't know if she was looking at me as a criminal. I don't know what it was, but she just gave me the nastiest look, and I never want somebody to look at me like that ever again in my life. You feel me? So I hope this motivated you. I hope this showed you some insight. Everybody got a story. This a little fraction of mine, you know. I'm not gonna say shout out to the people who shot me, but I'll never be the same. I'll never be the same. And I'm blessed for it. You feel me? So stay love, stay peace, stay happy, you know. Brains out.